we're excited for this, Nadine. It's her first time presenting. I think she's been in the community. How long have you been involved with Handshake now?
Since 2021.
Yeah, so a few years. It's great to have people, getting to share at the events and in the community and share some of your things you're working on. So we encourage everyone. So I'm so happy you reached out to share. Um, and Pixel Tinkerer is your handle or your what's that?
I just made it up for the event because, well, it's in French. I say bricoleurs de pixel, which is the same. So I try a translation, and it was Pixel Tinkerer. But in the Discord, I'm also Elf, which is like a magical creature too.
Great. Okay, I'll be in backstage. You can start to share your screen and share us about what you're working on. I'm so excited to see myself. Thank you again.
Thank you to let me present this. So I'm Nadine. I'm doing crypto and especially Handshake since 2021, since 3 years. I'm from Quebec, and I'll move directly to my presentation because I have so much to present. I'm sharing the screen, the entire screen right now. My presentation is in 3 parts. First, I will explain what I mean by own your space, and then I'll give an example with a user script in the Namebase account, and then I'll give another example if I have time with the Bob wallet, how we can own a space into Bob wallet. Okay, so have you ever dreamed of introducing new functionalities to your own Handshake wallet or even adding new page to your Namebase account? Don't wait for someone else to make it happen. Add them to your space today. So in this development workshop, I will guide you through the technique I've employed over the last 3 years to manage my portfolio effectively. Soon, I plan to utilize this insight to develop a keyword tagging functionality, aiming to facilitate the classification of keywords. So today, we will not do all the keyword tagging functionality, but something close. We will try to make a like functionality. Well, what I mean by own your space, suppose this is the landscape you see from your house. You see it through a window. So you have this window looking at it, and you see the landscape through the window. Can you draw on your side of the window? I think if it's your house, you can. So from your own home inside the house, in fact, you can. So if it's instead of being a real house, a real window, and a real landscape, if it's web page that you get from the internet, so here the cloud is like the internet, and you get copy of the web page that you get into your house, into your computer, and you display it on your screen. Can you change it? So it's a copy, it's yours. So I think we can change it. You can then on your side color social media, even if the Facebook founder doesn't like orange and only like blue, we can color Facebook orange if we want on your site. Well, I still need to go on Facebook to see the family. You can reorder, replace thing in the page like you want. And you can also create new page if you use a simple technique that's called, how can it be done? With user script. People had something in the day called GreaseMonkey, and it was used to tune the website on the client side. And this was a plugin that we installed into a browser that let us write script to change any website on the client side. So we call this a user script. So GreaseMonkey doesn't exist anymore, but something very similar is existing, which is called TemperMonkey. So this is the logo. What is the ecosystem of the user script today? Well, you can use the plugin avenue. We can also use the dev tool if we are dev, like many of you listening to me are probably. The plugin avenue it's good for sharing with a user that are not programmers. So TemperMonkey is a plugin that allows to put many user script in it, and a script autorunner is just another alternative that I'm using today. And the dev tool option, it's good for us developer. It's less ergonomic. It's not user friendly, but it worked, and we don't need to install anything. We can just write script directly in the console, or even use some snippet in Google Chrome and other browser as well. If a user script is ready and final, we can distribute it. So we can either create a new plugin, but it's complicated. We need to ask permission, it requires an approval, sometimes it's required to pay money or to pay an inspection that costs a lot of money. It's not secure that the plugin can be distributed and will stay distributed. The plugin can be deactivated later and removed from the market. We can, a better idea can be to create a bookmarklet. I've seen people in the community do that. I think the Randall did it to distribute some functionality. So the user can have to accept many warnings, but it's easy to use. And we can also use a user script plugin. It's maybe the easier solution, I guess, but the user need to install the user script and then install the plugin and then install the user script. So it needs some teaching. Well, anyway, my sharing today is more how we can transform our tool for our own use. We can think about transforming it for public use after. It's some example of user script for people that have never seen that. So that was my script for coloring Facebook. I was just using JavaScript to change the CSS. So the trick was to inspect the page and find the class, the ID of the object that we wanted to change, and put the orange in it. This is another one. This one I'm using it right now. In fact, this is when I open ChatGPT too much in my browser. I don't want people to see when I present, especially that I have ChatGPT open. So I changed the favicon in it, and it worked. So it's a small trick also. Oh, this one is one I use in my Parkbun account. I have so many label category, and if I click on the small label icon here, for the people that have a Parkbun account, maybe you know that we are all domainer, in fact. So many people have a Parkbun account. When you click on the label icon here, it appears, the list of labels appear, but it's vertical, and mine was too long for the screen and not very easy to look at it. So I just changed the CSS so that it's become a block easier like this. So this one is used with the autorunner solution here. Okay, so this was the idea that we can change things on our side. So it's 10. The first example I want to give of what we can do with the wallet, with the Handshake wallet, is the namebase example. So I've been using this a lot lately, especially in the first year, but I'm still using it. So this is how I see the namebase architecture. Of course, it's not complete. I don't have access to the server-side architecture, so I call this a black box. But what namebase give us as information is an API. So they have an API which is documented in a GitHub pages, and we can access this API. This API can be accessed two ways. Either it can be accessed from an external app, for example, a React app, a web app, other app. And in this case, we have to pass through an authentication process, and then we can use the documented API. Well, inside the namebase account, the web page with the authenticated user can make directly an API call to the API without further authentication, because the user is already authenticated in the namebase account. So what I often do is that I just open my browser on the namebase page and I run my script. I use the API directly there, so it's easier for me. I share my trick with you, but please do not abuse. I will not be the cause of any problem on the namebase side. You have to know that on their in their GitHub namebase have this text where they say that they retain the right to ban your account if you are abusing the API. Don't fear, you have to be warned at least once before it happens. But the trick is, in fact, to make sleep, to not harass the server and to make a sleep between each call and not use it all the time. Personally, I just use it when I look at it personally. It's not something running all the time. It's not a use that is really greater than when I click and click and click in the market. That's an example of an URL, a URL that I can use. So I have to use the browser that is authenticated here. So this is my namebase account normally. So you see that because I'm authenticated, it can go and get all my domain name in my account. Well, from the 200 offset with the assert direction descending, starting with D with a minimum length of 10. I wanted not to show all my domain names, so I use this filter. That's the one I'm gonna use to work with the code. If you want to know more about this API, you can go into GitHub like this and look at the API documentation. Each part of the API have its own MD file with its own documentation, and you can also inspect the URL in the network tab, and there is in fact more API than less. Okay, to do my workshop, you have to install the Punicode library. I will give you the slideshow after, so no need to screenshot everything I show you, and you will also have the video, I guess, after. So this Punicode library, well, we can well, I put a part on it of it here. You have the original here, and in my namebase account here, I have it completely here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a copy here in the speaker notes, so you can just copy here everything, and you will have it. So I call it Punicode. I run this. I have also some util. So I have a function that creates a div with text, a function that sleep, a function that call the other library and convert a Punicode if it starts with xn --. So all this code, this is just those 5 functions. So I'm gonna just execute it here. And then that's another code I'm going to copy paste because I don't really have time to type all that today. It's just a display, so it's just HTML and CSS, and it's put it all together to make what I call the portfolio display. And in the portfolio, we are going to click to like some name, and hopefully they will go to the best display. So that's the challenge today. So I'm gonna copy this into the display. So I create a new snippet. I call it display here. I put this. I put also the CSS. I'm gonna increase this and I run. So now it's not gonna display because the functions are not called. So we have to go to go further in the tutorial. So now we prepare an app and we prepare the portfolio display. So now I'm gonna code a little bit the app here. So async function app. Oh, bad keyword. And this function is gonna be able to call all the async function also. So prepare the portfolio display here, and that's it. So now it's gonna happen. So now my display is ready to display whatever is requested from the API. So I showed the link to you what it was giving. So this is my variable that link. So I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna reduce this so that we see more the code. Reduce this and the console only if we have some problem. Okay, we have time to type some code, I guess. What we want to do now is to list the name. So what we can do is to create the link first. So the link plus the parameter. And what I did is that I finished my parameter before seeing what is the offset. So I need to add also some quantity. So let's start at 0, for example, and maybe we can check if the link is okay. Let message is equal to await fetch the link, and the data is going to be, well, if you when you do this, you need to transform the data into real JSON, well, the JSON into real JavaScript object. So you do this like this. And the data that you receive from Namebase, if you log it, you see that in fact you have to go into the domain like this to get the data. So we could check that it works like this. So it seems to work, you see. I have some Z name here. So I'm gonna wrap this into a function, and the function will be able to list any page. So it's gonna be x times 100. You return the domain. And what we need also is to put it async since it's waiting on something. So now we can just call the function. Let domain is equal to await this name, let's say with 0, and try the console log here. It's working. So you see the principle on which its based is working. I will not have time to type all the code, so I'll just copy paste my function that show the name. You see that's a function that do a for loop into the name and just convert to Unicode and add it. Well, first it goes to take the element, the HTML element by ID, and then it append to the HTML element like this. So I'm gonna add this to the code. And next step, So next step, we are gonna try this into a loop. So this loop is gonna go here inside the app. Instead of calling this once with 0, I'm calling it many times with an offset, with page number. So I need some variable here, some additional variable here. So we can put it on the top. So you see now that the thing display, but there is a CSS issue. Normally it's supposed to be a little small square around. Anyway, okay, let's move forward. Now we want to click the best name. I want to click a name, and when I click the name, it's memorized and it stay somewhere. So first I've tried with unclick, but it trigger a security procedure. The message is later in the slideshow. So what I did instead is to attach the click event to the object here in the show name function. It could have been factorized, but that's the way it is for the moment. So I do this. Now I can comment this. I don't add to the inner HTML. I do the append instead. Just let's check if it works. It still works. Yes, it works. Okay. We will want, well, this function is to choose the best. We want, when we click on any name, to choose it as one of the best. So we need this function that say that we choose the best and we will log it. So, well, for now, I just log and I put the background color pink. It's not really working, but it's doing something. So it showed that the function is called. Okay, now I'm gonna have to create a local database. Well, a local database, you have one in your browser. It's called local storage and it memorizes things. So what I can do is to put all this. Well, those are functions that save an array, serialize it in the local storage and deserialize it each time we need it and add item to it. So I have an init function, an add function, and a function to get the data, another function to set the data. So I'm going to create again a new snippet. Whoops. This one is gonna be called data, and I'll put all the. I don't have time to type it, so I'm just copy pasting it. I'm so ashamed of this. But now what we can do is call this. At least we will do it manually. We can, in the choose best, we can call the function with in fact the data that is inside best, because when we click choose best, what we receive is a tag. So it's probably something like it's probably inner HTML. Yeah, that's it. That's inner HTML. So when I add best, it's best at inner HTML. Maybe the name should be best tag here. So I have to save, run again, and now it's gonna be saved into my database, into my local storage. What I want to do now, okay, it's already integrated. We did it. What we need to do now is to work separate page by URL path. So I could say that if the path is portfolio, I'm going to do what we just did. But if we go on the other page, the best page, we are gonna show the best. So I'm just gonna add this line to the user script here in the app. And then I'm gonna do this if, those two if, in fact. The those two if here. So this code go in the first if. This code is not tested. So what you have to do now to be able to test this code is to really be there at portfolio, which is a 404 pages. I have to execute everything again, and it works. So I save thing, and now I'm gonna try the best. So the best is so show best. Okay, prepare best display is here. So here we see that we have the best display. This is the loop. We separated the page. So best, I waitlist best. So is this thing working? It seems to be working. So it have some that I've listed previously, and show best, which is a function that I've not coded yet, which is here. So I'm gonna, that's the same as show name, but it doesn't put the event. And what it does also is if the name isn't the best, it's gonna say, okay, it's pink. So, yeah, it's gonna just list the best now. That's the one that I previously click on them. Well, yeah, I've worked before the demonstration, so that's why it worked. So that was the first demonstration. I have another one yet to show you. But with this technique, we can name and have, what I want to do for me is to separate name by keyword and then send them in separate wallet depending. For example, I have the blue name and the red name, and the blue name go in the blue wallet and the red name go in the red wallet, and I can just go in my name list and click and click and click, and it's gonna be easy to work with my wallet like that and not have everything that stay in the account. Okay. Now the Bob wallet, I'm gonna start it here. You see the command to start it is npm run dev. You can see here, I show it like this. Those are the commands to do the Bob wallet installation. It's based on the Glassman tutorial, and I've added some line because it was not working for me. Maybe I had not the same distribution, so this is the technique that worked for me. Those package, this node version, this shortcut, the port depend if you work on the test network, on the dev network. If you do transaction, please work on the test network. But if you just work on the display like me today, it's not important. This is what, well, it's not a complete Bob wallet architecture, but that's the one that is not classic. You see, when you have a React application, you have a classic route that have that are listed in an app that contain component, that contain page, the page contain the component. And here in the Bob wallet architecture, we have this additional thing. We have EPC call between the React component and the background, if I understand well. And the background do RPC call to the node module, which make the HSD library at work to talk the language of the blockchain. But it's not of use for me today. That's just something I wanted to show you. Today, I'm just going to work on the display, and I'm going to show you how you can add a page into your own Bob wallet. So the page I'm going to add today is called Superbid. So if you, I just synchronized 30 minutes ago. You see that it opened the Bob wallet with the debug console open. And well, it's gonna finish synchronize. You see here that I've already added some tests a super template and one with a table. So I can zip them for you and you can use them as a template. And that's what I'm going to do, in fact, today, because we don't have much time. But when you want to add a page into Bob Wallet, you need first to list it in the menu. I mean here. So that's the sidebar. So for this, I'm gonna open my guide here. So you have to go into app component, and the sidebar is the component that is like the menu. So you go here and you just open the index.js like this. You take, you can remove navlink that you don't like, and you can add the one that you need. So here you see, okay, I dream to remove this here because I don't have any claim to do. So my dream would be to remove it. I think it's not a problem to remove it here. So I just give a demonstration and it's gonna recompile and you see it already disappear. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new one here, which is gonna be super names. The text is gonna be super names, and there is an error in my slideshow. Okay, that's it. So the path is super names. The text is super names. That's everything we need to know. Oh, I can close this now. We have this super names. Okay, now we have to match this with this. So super names here. So this component, this protected root, is gonna go into the main app. So I have to go into pages here. In the app here, you go in the index here, and you find all the protected root that you can have here, and you see my test. So super names and super names, and we have here to name the component, which is super names. So this is the text, this is the component, and this is the path. And that's not everything. We also have to, like shown here, to either copy an existing module. Well, the domain manager is the one I started with, but it's too long for today. For today, we will start with my template, which is just this HTML and this CSS. I can save some time here by just copying it here. So my super template is gonna be super names. Super names. I don't really need the constant. We need to export the super names at the end so that it works. We also need to import the goods style sheet, super names. And let's see, super name is not defined. Oh, I forgot one thing in the app here. We have to import the component here, else it's not gonna work. So the super names component from the super name directory. So it's gonna reload, and now we have the super name pages where we can do stuff in it. So that's how you can add a page to your Bob wallet. Now the workshop is to make what I call the love name feature. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna again copy paste it so that we maybe can make it before the end. So first of all, I create a false name list just to see if I can display something inside supername. So this is a supername. I do, instead of doing something, I create my false name list. I want, in fact, to have a render function that is able to show a table. So this is going to be my render function. And to be able to do that, I also need, I forgot to put it, it's in the other template. I'm gonna need the spur table template here, because, by the way, thanks a lot to Rigvit. He helped me a lot with Bob Wallet when I started, and here the dev made some component easy to use. So I just want to make sure I have everything. So I add the format name, but add not the table component. So now the table is defined. So I have a table of bad name, in fact, but it shows that it works with this code. So now what I want to do is to make a love name component. So I'm gonna go into an existing pages and change it. So the pages is a pages with existing name. So I have to find some name like art print. And what I want is that in my art print pages, when I go in my manage, oh, I forgot it in my demo. Okay, you see what it gives. I have this. I've added this code so that it show a art where I can click and it memorize the art print name into local storage. Well, local storage is not already into the Bob wallet, but what we can do is to just install the component. So you can just go in node local storage, and you have this component. You can just do npm install of this into your command line. So I don't want to close my wallet, but what you do is so npm, it's already done, so it's not gonna do anything. Node local storage, and it install it for you, and you can use it like if you were in the browser. So here it's 3 version where how I did the love name add component in the my domain pages. So a first version was to just do the CSS in the normal CSS file. This is the editorial choice of the programmer. So maybe that's the way we should do it if we plan to publish the code and merge with the real code. But if it's just for you, maybe you can try the other way too. So another way is to use what we call a style component, which require also to do an npm install of style component. And with the style component, you can put the CSS directly into the component. Is it bad? Is it good? It could be a philosophical question. And the bad thing is that it separates less the decoration from the content than the other way. But the good thing is that the component become more reusable, and React, personally, I don't like a lot React, but React is a lot about reusing the components. So maybe for my love name component, that was a good idea, at least for this one. And then I try a third version where I use a separate component that contained the style component, and that was the love name box, and I write I love this in it. And then I was very motivated. I did not want to use an emoji because I wanted to have a bigger heart and play with the color. So I found a tutorial online to create an art with CSS transformation. So I added all this code to the earth box. I created the earth box and I just used the tag earth here. And that's what make appear this earth here. So now I can just click on the name here, and with some tweak, each time I do that, it's saved in the local storage, and I bring down the data, of course, of the name, so that when we click, we know on which name we click. So with props like this, I don't like context. So now I can just click on the earth. We react to the click. We say that we love the name. Yes, we love the name. So now we can just save this into local storage instead of doing a console log. And now the love is available everywhere. So I think I miss a line here. I will add it to save the love, but we can see it in the code. So we can just search for the pages my domain. I forgot to erase it, so you have it. So the function love this is here. So it's saved into local storage the name, and later, now, like I said, the love is available in the local storage, so it's available everywhere. We can go back into our super name pages and get the name instead of having the bad get name list function. We can replace it with this true function. So this is a mockup, and this is the real one. And now, if I go in super name, you see all the name that I loved before. I did it a lot of time before the presentation, so are listed in my super name pages. And I could also ditch the table and go with a display with a label like I did in Namebase. So it shows you that you can hack into your Bob wallet and make it do everything you want, and it's very fun to do that. If you have any question, don't hesitate. I am Health with a E on Discord. This is my email. I will find a way to share with you my slideshow with all the code of the demonstration. I hope you liked it. I like it very much on my side. Also, I just wanted to say that it's presented to you by .proudly, which is one of my Handshake project. You can buy Proudly name at Encirca. There is a lot of reference after, but that's not necessary. Thank you very much. Do you have any question?
That was epic. There was lots of discussion. There was lots of discussion in the chat, and that was intense. So I'm so happy you made it. Like it definitely was worth it. And is there questions? I guess I mean I have some thoughts too, but there was people talking about, some people were just kind of understanding this for portfolios, or you could do, what are some of the things you could do with this? I guess maybe more on a very high level idea, like what are some of the different things you could make?
Yeah, you can do everything. You can manage your portfolio. You can search for name. But the portfolio is the more pressing issue in my case, because I have a name to manage and
Yeah,
I want to do it well.
got it.
I'm trying to look at the chat that you told me.
Yeah, there's lots of chats and thank yous and other input.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, so I think others have this problem too of many names and managing them and displaying them. Does anybody have specific questions right now? I know it's late, and I really appreciate your time. Yeah, there's a lot of chat, right? You're seeing a lot, but I'm hoping somebody can pop some at the bottom. But yeah, that was a really great session. custom looks for name base and sharing a community. Yeah, maybe it could be templates people could share and then like use. Is that something? I think that's what maybe encrypted means.
Yeah, that could also be used commercially and to improve and to give theme also to a website. It could be done to any website, but I know that Namebase seems to encourage it with the API. So I'm not shy to use it publicly.
Understood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. We could have our own bank of users create and to use with all the popular Handshake site like Namebase.
All right. So I know it's late for you, and that was a lot. And I think Anne was saying in the backstage, maybe you could do another session later, or we could do more. Or yeah, Encrypt is saying we could add chat to Namebase.
Yeah,
So,
that would be great.
yeah, I mean, a lot of us live inside Namebase, so more features that we as a community could add on top would be really amazing. Okay, anything else you want to share, or how can? Yeah, you mentioned the Proudly, so that's on Encirca. It's so people can support you by buying a Proudly name on Encirca, which is great. There's
Absolutely.
also
Absolutely.
any other links or places or ways people could find you or ask you questions or thank you or anything?
Elf. I'm Elf on into the Handshake Discord. I will eventually create a Telegram account I another time, but for now it's Discord Elf. In Namebase, I'm in a boat, the girl in a boat, and in the general Handshake server, it's Elf, ELPHE.
Well, okay. Great. And so this is the last session for today. I'm going to do a closing session where we'll go through tomorrow's agenda, Nadine, and everything. And I've seen the auctions and in chats. So thanks again for sharing with us. It's really appreciated.
Thanks to let me share this, and
Oh,
have a great day.
okay,
Have
great.
a great HandyCon,
Yeah, we'll
everyone.
just have a closing
And
session second. Oh, go
I
ahead.
just want to thanks again everybody that gave help in the Discord, especially Redfit,
It's
Durantil
great.
also, and everybody.
Okay. Yes, yeah, Rithvik's great. We really appreciate him and others, and yeah, that's what makes this community sustain itself and grow. Thank you. Okay, that's a wrap.